my lifestyle wasn't great. It was pretty much partying every weekend, starting from Thursday, finishing on Monday morning. So yeah, no, I had to literally focus on what I wanted to achieve more than anything. When you set your goal, I always say that to my client, when you started your journey, just make sure you know why you want to do that. Is your reason good enough? Is it for yourself or is it for someone else?
Hi everyone, and welcome to the podcast Fly with Mel. I use this podcast to talk about all the personal development that we can get by living far from home. I tell some stories, but most of the time I invite people that I meet along the way to share their own. This podcast is an open door to the world because I truly believe that everyone you meet has something to teach you. So I invite you to take a seat and enjoy the flight. Today I'm with Matou, personal trainer here in Sydney, Australia, and owner of Matou Fitness. Hi Matou.
Hi Mel.
Thank you for being here. I'm so excited about this podcast, and I think we're going to talk about training, moving your body, all the benefits that you can have from it on your brain, but also on your body, and all the anxiety you can also have, body image issues, eating disorder, etc. I'm not going to say more, even though I was saying the whole list, but thank you again for being here with us.
Thanks to you, Mel.
So Matou, the tradition on my podcast is just a little icebreaker to get to know you a bit more, and it's just for the listener to imagine a bit who you are. Can you just give us 3 things that define you?
First one would be fun. I think I'm laughing quite a bit on a daily basis, and that reflects also on my business, and with my friend too. The second one would be freedom, because being an entrepreneur, it's hard, but at the same time it's the price you pay for freedom, so up and down, but no regrets on that. And the last one would be health. Obviously, that's the most important part of my life, is just taking care of my body and my mental health.
I love it. That's beautiful. Thank you, Matou. And so how long have you been here in Australia for now?
So it's been 7 years.
So you're from France?
Yeah. My accent won't lie.
No, not that much. I wouldn't say that. So 7 years in Australia, and I guess you haven't been a personal trainer for your whole life here. I don't know. What's your story around that? When did you started your business around personal training?
So it's been a year and a half now. Just before that, I was in hospitality for pretty much my whole life. Even when I came here, got one job and stayed there for a little while. But as I was saying before, freedom is something that I really wanted to achieve in my life, and hospitality work doesn't really allow you that. I just did my certification, 3 and 4 in fitness here in Sydney, and then started to work pretty much straight away. I guess studies is just a way of getting a step in it, but every day you learn something. You just educate yourself.
And so when did you tell yourself, okay, that's it, I'm done with hospitality, I want to start to train and to train people and go into this industry?
First year in Australia, I put on about 10 kilos, came back to France to see my parents after a year. My dad dropped me off at the airport at the end of the trip and hugged me and said, look after yourself, I know you will, but please go to the gym.
Wow.
So it was kind of a déclic for me. So I came back and I signed up for a gym membership, and that was the most stressful day of my life, because after 30 minutes I think I threw up on the 40-minute classes. And I just kept going because I actually enjoyed it, but I just said, look, you know what, you're going to be sore in any way, you might as well go back. So I just went back the next day and kept on going. And fast forward a bit, like a year later, pretty much lost about 15.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So that's where you start to feel good. Like obviously the first day I felt really sick and tired and sore, but as you start to see results, your whole mental health, because I used to be in a changing room crying because nothing would fit me, and now being able to see just a tiny little muscle on the side or any kind of little victory just keeps you going. Pretty much.
Motivation. Okay, so you started most like the biggest goal that you had was to lose weight, I guess, and then that kept you motivated.
Yeah, so I used to cry all the time. I used to wear my boyfriend's shirt to go out. Like nothing would fit me. Well, I wasn't happy of what I looked, like the way I looked, the way I felt, and my lifestyle wasn't really great. And when I started to shift that around and be like, all right, every morning at 6 a.m. I'm gonna go, wake up, get it done. Then I fixed my diet as well, started cooking a bit more. So I think everything goes together. Like if you start exercising but you're still drinking hips and having burgers every time, you're not gonna change that much. Like I'm not saying you can't do it, but like for me, my lifestyle, like my whole life needed to change. And when I finally got to the point where it was kind of an addiction, like not an addiction because addiction is a bad word, but when I started to feel like that I needed to go because I knew how it would make me feel, I was like, I can actually do that to people because I've done it myself. So I used my personal experience, and I use it every day anyway, to help others. So the way I do it might be different to the way they will do it, but at least I've got that base where I can literally tell, like, you're gonna be fine. Like in any way, at some stage the process might slow down. It's gonna be quick at the beginning. Like there's different waves, everyone works different, but at least I can use that to push people, motivate them, and just tell them to not give up.
So you use, that's beautiful, Matou. So you use your whole story to help people. So would you say that you found kind of a purpose? I don't want to say purpose of life because I'm not sure about, like, it's a very strong word, but maybe it's that around your whole journey in fitness and in losing weight and finding your lifestyle. I just want to come back a bit on that. So you lost weight, but I guess it was not only your image in the mirror that you wanted to change. You were saying that your whole lifestyle needed to change. Can you just tell us a bit more?
Well, what I meant by that was my lifestyle wasn't great. Like it was pretty much partying every weekend, starting from Thursday, finishing on Monday morning. Eating, like obviously that goes with it. You drink the macas, the next day is gonna be really good. I had to like literally focus on what I wanted to achieve more than anything. When you see the end goal, when you set your goal, I always say that to my client, when you started your journey, just make sure you know why you want to do that, because it's important to know, like, is your reason good enough? Like, is it for yourself or if it's for someone else? And that makes a big difference. If someone comes to me and said, my boyfriend thinks I'm fat, I want to lose weight, well, just try to find your why you're doing this. Like, I've had that before, so it's kind of a shock when you show up to a random personal trainer, you explain a bit of your life and your why is just because of another person. So finding your why you're doing it. Then from there, when you know where you want to be, you go backwards. So you set your goals high, like your big goal at the end, and then you just go backwards. So let's say I start my journey, my goal is to lift 150 kilo on a squat. What can I do to achieve that? So you just go, in a month, I want to increase my weight by, 3 kilos, like the weight that I'm lifting actually. And you work towards this. If you get a timeline, if you get like a set of time on your mini goals, you're more likely to stick to it than like just saying, oh, I want to be there. I want to be lifting that, but you don't know when. So then if you set a time, you got no way to push it because you know that day is coming.
Yeah, it's very empowering. The thing that you said about ask your why and not the why of the other people that you're surrounded by. Thank you for sharing this. And so what's your goal? I think I know the answer, but what's your main goal? You were saying you want to help people. What's your definition of this goal?
I think if you mean my goal in life or my goal?
Your goal
professionally.
Professionally.
Well, I think.
And in life, but because it can go together. It goes sometimes.
Together, yeah. Well, I think just being able to change someone's the way they look at themselves, just being able to be a little part of their journey. I think just the reward in that job is insane. You should see how I came across client of mine. She came to me with a posture deviation, and she was kind of crooked, arching, and she was very self-conscious about that because as you get older, obviously having a nice posture and standing straight makes you look a bit enhanced, and she was very starting to kind of roll. And so we've been trained, we've trained for a year, I think. And after a year, she came back to me and she's like, you actually fixed the way I look. Obviously, it's gonna take way more than that. But the way I'm standing, people start to notice it. My family, my daughter, my husband saying that I'm getting stronger. Just the fact that you participate to just a tiny bit. Most of the people, you see them twice a week. You're not gonna change their whole life by just saying them 45 minutes or an hour and a half a week. But just the fact that you just brought a little bit of something to that person to make them happier, I think my job is done at the end of the day.
Yeah. That's good. Oh wow, yeah, it's very empowering, Matou, and I'm sure you're doing a great job, and not just by the training but also by the mindset that you set up with your clients. And we're gonna talk about that in a second, because my next question is I want to hear from you. What are the main benefits that you see from training on your mind and on your body? So we know it goes together, but I would be happy to hear your thought on that.
Well, on my own experience, it builds resilience. So you've got a purpose, you know what you need to achieve to get there. Just the fact to repeat the same habits every time, changing your lifestyle, it takes a lot of willpower. If you, as I said before, if you're not sure of your why, how are you going to keep your motivation going? Where if you know exactly why you're here, it could be from health issues, but it could also just be for your own well-being and your mental health. So I think resilience, it build resilience, which is important. Also accountability, that goes with it. And also for the bone mineral density, so which is the mineral that are in your bone. So as you grow older, your bone mineral density decrease. So that means you're more likely to break a bone. You see an older person falling on the street, if you were to fall the same way, you wouldn't break a bone, but she's ended up with a broken hip. So bone mineral density can be fixed by exercising, mainly weight training. So lots of older women come to see me with that purpose. It wasn't a big thing a few years ago, but it's starting to be a bit more in people's mind. Bone mineral density wasn't I've never heard of it before even getting into training, and now I'm hearing that everywhere. So it's going in the right way. People start to talk a bit more about it. It's not about being the skinniest or being the fittest or getting a six-pack. No, it's actually a purpose of when you get there, you will be strong,
Okay. So you said bone mineral density. It's the first time that I hear that. I really never heard that
and before. Then you're going to hear it everywhere now.
Yeah, it's going to be trendy just because you said that in the podcast. So
no, but yeah, there was a study that they made actually about it when they took 100 women 50 of them followed like a weight training plan, nutrition plan for a year, and the other 50 didn't do anything. They did a scan on those 100 women for the bone mineral density, because you can check that with a random scan. And after a year, they did another scan. On the 50 women that did a training and were following a program, pretty much 25 of them stayed the same, which is pretty good because there is no decrease. And 25 of them increased on the bone mineral density. On the other side, people who have done nothing, they pretty much, I think it was 35 people who decreased.
Okay, wow.
And the rest just stayed the same. So that's why they're starting to talk about it, do more studies, and yeah.
And so you increase your bone mineral density by doing weightlifting. That's what you said. Okay.
Yeah. And also I've seen a progression in my clients' goal setting. Before that, when I started about 2 years ago, I've had a lot of people coming to me saying that they want to be the skinniest as possible, or a six-pack, or like different goals that were just purely aesthetic. Now I see a lot of people coming to me and say, I want to get stronger, I want to be able to run after my kids, I want to be able to pick them up without my back hurting. And I think this is a great thing. I think social media actually helped a lot. Like, there's a controversial thing about social. There's a lot of bullshit around, but there's also a lot of content that everyone can take, and I feel like there's been a bit of a big progress on that, which I'm happy about.
So it's less being skinny, but it's more being skinny or shredded, and it's more being strong. And
I think the obviously the aesthetic part, the looking good part, is also a great goal, but it should be more than that. It should be having a goal to like help in your daily basis, not just about the way you look. Obviously that's going to make you feel good, but what about you do more than that?
Is it what you share on your social media?
I do a little bit. Like, I kind of was a bit in between when I started my business. Do I keep my personal, or do I do a business one? And at the end of the day, I thought, you know what, I don't want to share just fitness stuff, because I want to be able for people to see I enjoy, like, my life is not about eating broccoli and rice and chicken, like, with no taste. I still enjoy a drink on the beach with my friend. I still enjoy like a party and things like that. It's all about balance, pretty much. At the end of the day, if like your lifestyle is changing, but that doesn't mean the fun is going,
Totally.
Pretty much. So I think that's what I'd like to share with people, especially when they come to me, and most of them are really anxious. Like, they're so nervous. I had a young girl coming to me, really fit already, like playing lots of sports at school, and she came, and it was just the two of us at my gym. There was no one around, but she was so nervous, and I was like, what are you stressing about? And she was like, I don't know, like I don't feel strong. I feel like I'm not going to be able to do that technique. And I said, look, relax, I'm here. Like, that's why you're here. You needed help, you're here, and we'll be okay. So I think we don't really realize how stressful the gym environment can be. My best friend, actually, as an example, she can't go to the gym by herself. And she knows, like, we've been training together, she knows the exercises, she knows the technique and stuff, but just the fact to be around people, it's already a big step. To go with a friend is actually not too bad, because she's got someone to refer to. But when she has to go by herself, she's more likely to turn around and grab a coffee than go straight there. So we're working on that. But
Why do you think is it like it's like that? Is it because it's the environment, or is it because of social media, which shows that so many times you have like people who are doing so many amazing stuff, and you feel like you're doing nothing compared to them, and you come to the gym and you have these people here? And why do you think it's like that?
I think it's more about criticism. So from what we talked about, because I try to understand, like, it's always good for my own knowledge to know why you're feeling that way. I've felt that way before, but it never stopped me to turn around, where she's done it before. So I'd like to understand. And she pretty much said to me, I feel like everyone's looking at me. So last time we went to the gym and I said to her, I said, look at like around you. Everyone's were looking at themselves. I said, this is what it is. Like, people come. Why do you think there's mirrors everywhere? It's not to check your technique. If worse, actually make it worse, because people just do a row and they look and they turn their neck around, you know. So it's pretty much to look at yourself, not at everyone. But I think just the more you go, the less you'll feel that way. But the first step are the most difficult to take, pretty much.
So maybe, having a personal trainer can also have this benefit of guidance and make you feel more comfortable in this environment. I think as a woman as well, sometimes you can feel a bit discouraged because the gym can be an environment full of testosterone and full of men and full of guys with a lot of muscles pumping, and you come as a woman and suddenly they look at you because, I don't know, it's just this feeling. I know that I had it so many times when I started in new gyms in France or in Australia. You have this kind of feeling that these guys are looking at you and they're looking at, oh, is this girl going to know how to take this weight, or is this girl needed some help, or is she... And you're just here, you're just in your bubble, you just want to train just like them and be like by yourself and do your stuff, but you always have this kind of feeling. It's a bit tense. Which kind of advice would you give to us as women who start in a new gym?
I would literally, so sometimes some gyms they do like a little area where it's a bit more quiet. I would start there, just like do your own thing. I usually put my AirPods because I feel like it's a bit like stopping people from talking, like, to me, because I've had the same problem. You walk in the gym and you get a guy bringing your dumbbell to put it back in place. I'm like, I don't need your help, but you assume that because I'm a woman, like, I need you.
Yeah.
But I've done that before, but now I just put my AirPods and try to not make eye contact, pretty much.
So it's not always coming from a bad place.
No.
Sometimes they want to help us, and sometimes we need their help. I'm not gonna lie. It happened to me to have to need some help on the squat rack or whatever. Anyway, this kind of situation. But it's true that sometimes it can be also good to have maybe a quiet place or AirPods on or any other thing, or just a woman as a personal trainer or a trainer or anything. You were talking about anxiety to be in the gym. Did you have any other issues that you've heard from your clients regarding starting training and accepting their body? Or
I actually did. Well, usually when I start with a client, I do a consultation. Usually it lasts about 30 minutes. We just get to know each other. She explains a bit of, explain a bit of their past and why they're here. So literally on the first 30 minutes of meeting the people, I'm asking why they're here. And it's such a powerful question for some people, because I've got the look all the time, like, people look at me like, what do you want me to say? But the more question I ask, the more it comes. Like, look, it's not like always the why, but if you ask the right question, you can actually get to, last time I ran at the beach and I couldn't follow my son. I felt miserable. There you go. That's a good enough why, because it's something that you're gonna improve more than your aesthetic. You know, I'm not saying aesthetic goal is a bad goal, but in my opinion, there's so much more than that. That finding your why, the reason that brought you here, is the perfect way to keep your motivation going. But I've had, during consultation, obviously when I get someone who their goal is really to lose weight because of health issues or whatever reason, it's the scale. I'm not a big fan of the scale or anything, but I just use that as a guide. So you just step on it if you want to, just so when we start the diet part, we know where we're going, if we're doing the right thing. Some people have said to me it makes me feel anxious. So I just don't do it. Take a picture in the mirror, keep it to yourself. We'll do that in a month. Keep it to yourself and see if we're going in the right way. There's a million ways of doing it. You can take measurements. Some people don't like it. But I found like the scale have been a big issue for people, which is fine. We work around that. Also, I've had a few eating disorders that I wanted to mention. Of course, I'm not a nutritionist or a doctor, but I think it's a big part of the fitness industry. Like, I'm talking about calorie counting. I'm a big fan of that because I know my limits and I know I'm not gonna obsess with it, but it could be. So knowing the person you're working with or you train with is important to know those details. So that 30 minutes or even an hour, if you push it, of consultation with that person will define the way you're gonna approach. So yeah, so sometimes calorie deficit works really well with most of the people, but if I see a few red flags around, I wouldn't advocate that, because it could become a trigger, an obsession, or
everything I just want to touch base on what you said before regarding social media again, because we can see all these kind of calorie deficit, track your food, but also track your steps, track your movement, it's all about tracking and all the data that we can now have, even with the technology, the wearable, all the watches, like we can exactly know at the end of the day, I mean roughly, but the number of calorie we ate and the number of calorie we burnt, and I know that it can become an obsession for a lot of people. It can, like, I just want to say here that it's totally fine. As you said, it's a very easy way, like it's a spiral, it's a negative spiral where it's very easy to go and to get stuck. So here we just want to say, if you feel stuck in this kind of spiral, please ask for help, for medical advice. We are not professional GP practitioner or anything. We are just here to give our personal experience. So it's great that you said that. But yeah, I feel like the society now wants us to fit in so much in so many different I don't know, body image, but also like, are you strong enough? Do you have a fast metabolism? All these kind of things. It's a lot of new words also. I feel like we are having a lot of new words in our language and vocabulary. Like we never had that before. What do you think about all of this? Like, is it something good because we are learning more, like regarding all of this and all the science and scientific effects? Or is it something that we have to stay away and step away from it? I guess it depends on the person you have in front of you. But what's your opinion on that?
I feel like it's about balance. Again, I think tracking is a great tool to help you know where you're going. But at the same time, like, if you haven't done your 13,000 steps, you only do 12,000, it's not going to be a big deal. And I don't want that to be the reason why you off track. Because same for calorie deficit, you use an app to track everything. Here comes the weekend. You have a few drinks, you go over your calories. What do you do the next day? Oh, I messed it up. So I may as well just have a burger today and some chips. And that's how you can just get off that train you're on, where it's actually not true. You're allowed to have a day off, like you leave a little, Okay, you're in a journey where you're trying to work on yourself. That doesn't mean you have to give up all the pleasures in life. There was actually a girl who did a study. Here you go, my studies. She was doing a bodybuilding competition. So prep could be about 9 months, I think. I don't know, it could vary. I don't know how long she prepared. And she wanted to prove a point of having a donut every day until prep day. Okay. In a prep competition. So
she wanted to eat a donut a day. Okay.
Yeah, she just wanted to prove a point, just saying to people, you can enjoy that donut if you just balance it out with your daily basis, So she had that donut every day of the week until prep day. She still made it, she still had the same result. Like, she just made it work and combined it into a prep and a daily life.
Okay. Wow.
So I think that's what she was trying to do. Just say you enjoy and you can stay on track. It doesn't mean the whole process is over.
Wow. What's the advice you give to people who come to you with when you can feel already the red flags about eating disorders, I guess it's not your role to guide them straight away, but what's your
I usually try not to mention it, because as you just said, it's out of my scope of practice. Like, I'm not trained enough to give you advice on that. I would seek for a nutritionist or someone that more qualified for it. But I would just educate people on how food works. You know, you can give nutrition advice. You can't just say go on that diet, but just explaining on how everything works. Like they say, carbs is so bad for you, it's gonna make you fat. It's not. Carbs is just fuel or energy. It's just gonna you hear a lot of different things. So carbs makes you fat. No carbs at night because it makes you whatever. Doesn't. I think the carb stuff came from the fact that carbs gives you energy. So the fact that you eat carbs at night, it's a bit of a waste of energy. So I think that came from that, but it just got
a lot of different things.
Yeah. So
and I'm just coming back to your personal story, because you said before, so you gained, I don't know, 10 kilos and then you've lost 15. I guess having this story and this journey, this background in your own journey also gives you an idea of the body image that you can have when you see yourself in the mirror, etc. So coming back to your story, what's the guidance that you can give to people who are having these body image issues?
I think you just understanding, like empathy, and just reassurance as well was a big step for me. Like just saying to someone, it's gonna be fine. It takes time, it will hurt, but it's gonna be fine. It's a process. It's not gonna take a month, 2 months. You're gonna feel good. You're gonna after a week, some people say, I feel so much better already. So it's a mental thing most of the time. Like the way you see yourself by doing nothing, it's different than the way you see yourself a week after by doing something every day. Like, I don't know how many people came to me literally after 2 weeks and they feel so much better. Their body hasn't changed, but the way the mental works is just, I've done something towards the goal I have, so that feels good.
Wow. And I guess it goes with training, but also nutrition, as you were just
I don't think going into a straight diet straight away, like a strict diet straight away, is any beneficial, because you can't be too hard on yourself. Your body's into shock just by going to training and being consistent with that. I think a slow process, just try to change a few things a week, you know, like instead of having a chocolate bar in the morning, have a oats, you know, or some fruit.
It's a big shift.
It's a big shift, you know, but you're trying to just one thing, you know, keep the rest of your diet fine. The next week you just add something else. I want to have greens on my plate at lunch every day. Could be anything really, but just trying to slowly change bit by bit, because you can't just change and shift your life around. You can, but it's not sustainable. I think sustainability is something that I teach my clients straight away. You want it to work, like you want to make progress, I understand that, but take your time to do it. Don't rush into something you can't commit for a long time. Long-term changes, it's going to help you stay the same. You don't want to be like on a calorie deficit for 3 years, you know. You want to be enjoying your life afterwards, you know. You kind of want to teach them how to maintain. So by maintaining, you don't want to be counting. You want to teach just how to change their lifestyle around. And
so you teach them to find to change and find their lifestyle by unlearning all the old habits and just shifting the whole education that you can have in your mind, because some people also never learned what is it to eat healthy. Some people really don't know if having a juice in the morning is right or not. So I guess you're giving also these advice. So what would be the gap between you and a nutritionist? So a personal trainer and a nutritionist in that area of nutrition.
So a nutritionist can he's got all the knowledge to give a meal plan, treating eating disorders, all that those. It's pretty much doctor of nutrition, if I can say it like that, where I can't give you a meal plan. I can educate you on or give you advice on nutrition, but it's very vague. Like at school, you don't really learn that much about nutrition because they really want you to stay on your training side more than the nutrition. So usually people do like a extra course on nutrition to just combine that together.
Okay, so your big role is really to change the body and mind, as we said before. But yeah, so you do that so what do you do exactly? What is your area of training? Is it like weightlifting, HIIT?
Yeah, I do a bit of both. I do boot camp, which I like. Well, with COVID, it's been a bit of a mess just to get people together, and it was actually what I liked the most. It's just a big community regrouping and training together. That's the aspect I really liked about bootcamp. It's starting to be a bit more shifted to one-on-one personal training due to recent events, but I do mainly weight training into a wide range of women from 20 to 68. I think it's my oldest client. So
mostly women.
All women.
Okay.
I've done a lot of guys before, but I think as you go, your niche is going. You find your niche without finding it, if you know what I mean.
That's good. Do you have any example or big rewards from clients, like a story that you would like to share that you had during your journey?
I've had a few. If I had to pick one, would be, well, one of my clients, another one, who actually goes to the gym every day now. So she couldn't even step at the gym, like in the gym by herself. She started slowly training every day. I gave her a program to follow, and now she's lifting like a queen. She's about 50. Wow. So started training at about 40. And yeah, so shifted her life around, and now it's a part of her daily life. She needs that. She runs on the beach some days, and she does the weight training twice a week. So yeah, and she came from not even being able to do a squat, you know.
Like, she started training at 40 years old.
40 years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it's never too late, guys.
I know. Yeah.
Never too late.
Start moving.
That's amazing. That's amazing, Matou. Do you have any advice that you would like to give to someone who would like to start training? Who would like to have a better life, feel better, look better, all of this kind of thing, but don't know where to start? What's the first advice that you give?
Find what works for you. So it could be, I don't know, if you like skipping, just start skipping, you know, like just find what works for you. Could be anything: CrossFit, weight training, HIIT class, if you like the group aspect of things. But yeah, find your why and what works for you. Stop comparing yourself to others and set your goals. See where you're going. When you see the big picture, it's so much easier to go forward.
Do you congratulate yourself also for all the amazing job that you're doing out there for all these women, especially?
I should do it more often. Yeah. I smile a lot because I'm happy.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what reflects on my training, because I love my job. Like, I love what I'm doing. I don't even feel like I'm working, because the joy that brings me and the impact I can have on people, that's what drives me. That's why I wake up in the morning. So yeah, I should thank myself enough.
More.
Maybe
you don't do it enough. You should do it more.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's more now like kind of your personal story, because you're a personal trainer, and you were saying before you're trying not to push yourself and to not push too much pressure on yourself with the tracking stuff, for example, or the counting, and to not be too obsessed. How do you put like a limit, I would say, between your personal life and your professional life regarding food, but also trainings? You know, like how do you combine everything together?
Well, I try to really have a balanced life on weekdays, and then depending on the events I've got, I just allow myself to just leave. I don't put too much pressure on like nutrition and things like that, because I try to train every day anyway, or at least four times a week, just to keep me sane pretty much. I don't really have a physical goal or anything like that at the moment, but just for my mind. I like to walk a lot, so yeah, trying to get my habits and find the thing that makes me feel good. At the moment it's pretty much about feeling good than anything else, not a specific goal in general.
That's good. I've heard something the other day, I don't know where, I think it was on Instagram or so it was a guy who was saying you don't need to have abs to be a good personal trainer. You don't need to be super shredded to be a good personal trainer, as long as you have the whole, like, all the knowledge. I personally don't feel that I would be comfortable to go with someone who is not shaped, I don't know, in a certain way to be trained by that person. But maybe because I'm still old school in my mind, I will definitely try to speak with that person first and see, like, if that person know what she's doing and know what she's talking about when she talks about her training and all the stuff that she would do with me. What's your opinion on that?
It's a very like broad subject, because obviously I agree with your point, and I've heard it as well. Like, even some people came to me like, oh, I want to look like you. You're kind of a role model for the people you train. So I fully understand what you're saying, but also at the same time I feel bad, because I know some great personal trainer that had a baby, for example, and probably she was looking super great before that, and now she's looking like a new mom, you know. She probably don't have abs anymore or things like that, but she might have more knowledge now than she was before. So yeah, never judge a book by its cover.
Okay.
I guess everyone gets to have a chance and get to know the person before, and yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, you're right. It's true. We should just put another lens in our way and definitely have a conversation, I think, with the person first.
I think everyone has a past and a story, and being able to share the story before even beginning could make more sense than just looking at the person first and be like, oh, maybe not.
Thanks a lot, Matou. I really enjoyed the conversation. I learned some stuff as well. I want to do a training, but it's not possible right now. It's 7 p.m. in Australia, but we should definitely do a boot camp or something. I'm ready to train my mind and body with you.
And I'm ready for you.
Do you have a last thing that you would like to share before we wrap up?
Yeah, find your why and make the most of it. Just 2022 is just beginning, so there's always time to start.
Yeah. And if we want to start with you, where can we find you?
Well, you can contact me on my Instagram, which is Matou Ritsky.
I'll put it in the description.
Yeah, put it in the description. I won't share my number on this, but
I know.
Yeah.
We'll avoid all the chat and text. But so you can contact Matou. She trains people in Sydney, outdoor, indoor?
Mostly outdoors. If you got a home gym, happy to come to you. I do a few more locations: Maroubra, Rushcutters Bay, Double Bay, Oatley.
Sydney, basically.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Matou, for sharing everything. I was really happy to share this conversation with you. So thank you.
Thanks for having me.